Module 3 and Module 4, second reading. Now we move beyond simply seeing the structure. The first reading asked, what problem is this module trying to solve? The second reading asks, how do all these topics connect to each other? At this stage, do not memorize definitions word for word. Do not try to write exam answers. Do not panic about technical terminology. Simply build the logical story. Module 3 as a story. The entire module revolves around one question. How does the law identify and protect individuals who have connections with more than one legal system? Everything in this module grows from that question. Step 1. Concept of nationality and domicile. Imagine a person who was born in India, has Canadian nationality, works in Dubai, and wants to settle permanently in England. A court immediately faces a problem. Which country is legally connected to this person? To answer that question, Payal uses two major connecting factors. Nationality. Nationality reflects legal and political membership in a state. It answers, which country recognizes this person as its citizen? Domicile. Domicile reflects a person's permanent home. It answers, where does this person truly belong for legal purposes? Important understanding, different legal traditions prioritize different connecting factors. Civil law systems examples, France, Italy, Germany, usually prefer nationality. Common law systems examples, India, England, usually prefer domicile. Thus, person need legal connection. Nationality or domicile, applicable personal law. Step 2, personal law. Once the court identifies the person's legal connection, another question appears. Certain issues are deeply personal. For example, marriage, divorce, guardianship, legitimacy, succession. These issues are often governed by personal law. Important understanding. Personal law is fundamentally concerned with status. Questions such as, is this marriage valid? Is this divorce valid? Is this child legitimate? Who inherits property? All depend on status. Core logic. A person's status often travels across borders, but recognition of that status may differ between countries. Thus, nationality, domicile, personal law, status, recognition across borders. Step 3. Custody of children. Now the focus shifts to children. Imagine, parents belong to different countries. Child lives in another country. A custody dispute arises. Several legal systems may claim authority. The issue is no longer simply territorial. The court must determine which court should decide, which law should apply. Modern judicial anchor. Modern appeal increasingly follows the best interests of the child. This principle often overrides rigid territorial considerations. Thus, competing jurisdictions, child's welfare, best interests principle, custody decision. Step 4. Conflict in matrimonial regime. Marriage creates financial and proprietary consequences. Questions arise regarding property ownership, financial obligations, marital rights, distribution of assets. When spouses have links to different countries, conflict appears. Important tension courts often balance lex loci celebrationis, law of the place where the marriage was celebrated. Matrimonial domicile, law of the place where the spouses established their married life. The question becomes, which legal connection is stronger? Thus, marriage, multiple countries involved, competing matrimonial rules, conflict in matrimonial regime. Step 5. Matrimonial causes. Marriage sometimes breaks down. Disputes may involve divorce, nullity, judicial separation, restitution of conjugal rights. The moment international elements appear, multiple questions arise. Which court should hear the case? Which law should govern it? Will other countries recognize the outcome? Thus, matrimonial dispute jurisdiction question, choice of law question, recognition question. Next, step 6, alimony. Suppose divorce occurs in country A, husband resides in country B, assets are located in country C. The court may award maintenance, but enforcement becomes difficult. The problem shifts from should support be granted to can support actually be enforced internationally? Thus, alimony order, cross-border assets, recognition, enforcement. Step 7, stateless minor. Now we reach one of the most difficult situations. A child may have no recognized nationality. Without nationality, many legal protections become uncertain. Questions arise. Which country should protect the child? Which law applies? Which authority acts? Guiding principle. Again, the dominant consideration becomes the best interests of the child. Thus, statelessness, legal uncertainty, need protection, best interest principle. Module 3, complete map individual. Nationality, domicile, personal law, status, marriage and family rights, custody, matrimonial conflicts, alimony, stateless minor, protection of individual rights across borders. Module 4, as a story. Module 3 focused on people. Module 4 focuses on what courts actually do once a dispute reaches them. The central question becomes, how does a court resolve an international dispute? Step 1, rules for choice of law. The court first asks, which legal system should govern this dispute? This is the choice of law process. The court searches for the legal system with the closest and most appropriate connection. Thus, international dispute, competing legal systems, choice of law, applicable law, selected. Step 2, characterization. Before selecting any law, the court must classify the dispute. Important addition, characterization is also called classification, qualification. It is the first operational step in conflict resolution. The judge asks, what kind of dispute is this? For example, contract, tort, property, family law. Only after classification can choice of law rules operate. Thus, dispute characterization, choice of law. Step 3, concept of Renvoi. Now imagine the court chooses foreign law, but that foreign law refers the matter elsewhere. The legal system effectively says, this issue should be decided by another legal system. This creates Renvoi. 2 important forms. Single Renvoi, foreign law refers back to the forum, remission, or to a third country, transmission, and the reference is accepted. Double Renvoi, also called total Renvoi. The forum court attempts to decide exactly as the foreign court would decide. Thus, choice of foreign law, foreign reference, Renvoi problem, judicial response. Step 4, content of juridical law. Suppose the court finally decides that foreign law applies. Another problem appears. How does the court know what that foreign law actually says? Important Indian position. In India, foreign law is treated as a question of fact rather than a question of law. Therefore, it must be proved, usually through expert witnesses, legal opinions, documentary materials. A court cannot simply assume foreign law. Thus, foreign law chosen need to know content, proof required, application possible. Step 5, arbitration. Not all international disputes go to ordinary courts. Parties may choose arbitration. Why? Because arbitration offers neutrality, flexibility, international acceptability. Thus, international dispute, private resolution, arbitration. Award. Step 6, partial recognition or enforcement. Sometimes a foreign judgment is only partially acceptable. A court may recognize some portions and reject others. The issue becomes how much of the foreign decision should be respected. Thus, foreign judgment, review, partial recognition or partial enforcement. Step 7, legal recognition of foreign legal person. Imagine a corporation validly exists in one country. It now wishes to operate in another. The court must determine, will this foreign legal entity be recognized? This issue concerns legal personality, capacity, rights and obligations. Thus, foreign entity, recognition, legal capacity, operation across borders. Module, complete map international dispute, characterization, choice of law, Renvoi, content of foreign law, arbitration, recognition and enforcement, foreign legal persons, resolution of cross-border disputes. Master map of Module 3, Module 4, individual, nationality, domicile, personal law, status, marriage and family relations, custody, matrimonial causes, alimony, stateless minor, dispute reaches court, characterization, classification, qualification. Choice of law, Renvoi, foreign law as question of fact, arbitration, recognition and enforcement, foreign legal persons, final resolution of cross-border disputes. Things added in this understanding stage that were not explicitly developed in the first reading. Nationality versus domicile, civil law versus common law approach. Personal law as the basis of legal status, best interests of the child principle. Lex loci celebrationis versus matrimonial domicile. Characterization equals classification, qualification. Single renvoi and double renvoi. Foreign law as a question of fact in India. Stronger link between recognition and enforcement in cross-border disputes. These are the conceptual anchors you should now understand before moving to stage 3, memory reading.